honored to be joined by one of the world's greatest young philanthropists and businessmen. He's the president of Taurus Emes and the Chafetz Chaim Heritage Foundation. He and his wife Tamar were honored at Chabad's annual convention as the recipient of its most prominent Chesed Award. Recently, Shlomo was honored by UCLA with Sidney Poitier, Terry Semel, and Morgan Freeman when he received the Icon Award for visionary leadership in business and philanthropy. And last year, he and his brother were the winners of the Ernst & Young Entrepreneur of the Year Award. He's a global leader who inspires countless others to follow his example in business and charitable endeavors. He's the founder of Bria's Healthcare Company, co-founder and CEO of TwinMed, the largest medical supply distributor on the West Coast. He has utilized his success in the healthcare field to give back to the field of medicine. He's contributed millions of dollars to cancer research. Welcome, Shlomo Rechnitz.
Shlomo Rechnitz is really one of the extraordinary people of our generation. His heart is, please forgive me, Shlomo, as big as he is.
Here at A New Way of Life, we fulfill a really important need. Women are released back from incarceration into a community, and without supports, it's very difficult to get your life back on track. So when he heard about A New Way of Life and what we were doing here, he just wrote us a big fat check. It was completely unsolicited. I'm not sure of where he heard of us from, how he heard of us.
When Diane Alger told her story to News 8, the country listened. She let us in on the last moments of her husband's life, their love, and the 45 minutes he got to hold his newborn daughter, her birth induced, so that he could meet her. It's a story that touched many of you and many more across the country.
Some of you sent money to help Diane raise her 5 children, including a man named Shlomo Rechnitz,
something that's important to anyone,
who called Alter on the phone and made a significant donation.
He just told me he was a religious man and that he believes in helping people.
He's a California millionaire who didn't want to be interviewed, but tells News 8 he wanted to make a difference and sent her a check for enough money to buy herself a car big enough to transport her entire family.
Well, there is Sandy, Category 2. Look at the impact zone from the storm.
And it is not good news for those who live in the northeastern United States.
And it doesn't just have to be his community in California. This is a man who anywhere in the world, when we had the situation with Sandy, which affected the lives of so many people from all different kinds of communities, $1 million from Shlomo Rechnitz, I wasn't shocked, because that's the essence of Shlomo Rechnitz.
Over 2 years ago, in the interest of helping the law enforcement community, Shlomo Rechnitz decided to contribute to the family of any California peace officer fallen in the line of duty a check in the amount of $10,000.
My husband was killed on February 7th of this year. I'm walking down the stairs, going to answer the door, thinking, no, it's a fire. It's a fire. They're going to tell me to evacuate. That's what it is. And I get down there and I saw my husband's friend Ryan, and saw the badge hanging on his neck. And I said, no, close the door. And that's what really inspires me, is that somebody that did not know who we are, someone that has never met me, my husband, my kids, can just give an amount of money like that really helps us, that helps us to recover, that helps me to be able to not worry about, now I don't have a paycheck coming.
Everything that we know about Shlomo Rechnitz says that when he sees something that is unjust, when he sees something that he can make a change to, when he sees a way that he can make a difference with a gift, he just is motivated to do it.
People like Shlomo, who are philanthropists
and supporters of issues that are perhaps not even close to them or not in their immediate world is incredibly important. And we need the full diversity of people supporting this issue if we're going to really end AIDS. And we believe we can, but we really need the diversity of support like people like Shlomo.
Shlomo seems to be an active philanthropist. He knows what he's trying to do in the world and he seeks it out. He doesn't just wait for people to come to him. He actually proactively goes out and says, how can I make a difference? And you can see that across a variety of areas where he's focusing.
We're all about trying to prevent Alzheimer's, delay the onset of symptoms, and we're making some progress, and thanks to Shlomo, we're making progress faster. I think that Shlomo teaches us that it's not just about giving, but it's how you give. It's getting involved, connecting with the people in the organization, and really becoming a partner in the activity.
The NAACP Legal Defense Fund would like to thank Shlomo for his extraordinarily generous and unsolicited contribution to our organization. His gift made our work possible. What we do is expensive, it is time-consuming, it is difficult to ensure that African Americans and other communities of color are able to be active and complete members of the American democracy. And without the gift that Shlomo gave us, we would not have been able to do the kind of work that we're doing today.
On February 26, 2013, I was currently working for the police department in the city of Santa Cruz with my father. That day, myself as well as my family's lives were completely shattered.
It's amazing to me that someone who's almost 400 miles away cared so much about my daughter and her family.
You know, I don't know Shlomo, I've never met him, but it speaks exceptionally high of his character that he would be willing to make such a generous financial contribution to the Memorial Fund.
And for Shlomo personally, I'd like to say thank you very much for your generosity. All of the donations that you give go to support so many military families, and it's just not one service or one rank, but it's military families around the country, and it's the nation's families.
I was sitting at my desk and the phone rang, and there was somebody who said, oh, I'm calling, I'd like to hear more about your organization, I'm very interested in the work you're doing. And when he said that he was going to help with the level of giving he was going to help with, I would say, Shlomo, there aren't enough words in my vocabulary to be able to thank you. And if I could have kids and families in this room, I know they'd be coming up to you and hugging you. You have changed lives. You may never have met any of them, and they may never have met you. But believe me, you've made a difference, and you've changed their worlds. You've changed their lives, and they would never be able to thank you enough. Children's Health Fund can never thank you enough, and I could never thank you enough.
He doesn't care what religion the person is, whether the person is an atheist, if a person is in need, if a person has been beset by misfortune or tragedy, he's always there to help, and he doesn't have to be reminded.
The dream of restoring this abandoned cemetery became a reality when a local philanthropist, Shlomo Rechnitz, heard about the problem and decided to come take a look for himself.
We were standing right about here, and he said, I've seen enough. And he took out his checkbook and he wrote out a $250,000 check.
The generosity of Shlomo has allowed us to advance our mission by putting on different quality of life activities. The one most recently is our family picnic and carnival that allows 5,000 children and their family members to escape the hospital setting. He has been crucial in allowing us to put on that activity, and we couldn't have done it without him.
The commitment and the dedication that Shlomo has shown to really helping people help themselves is unparalleled, and we're so thankful for the incredible hard work that he does. Shlomo never ceases to amaze us with his commitment to change the world one person at a time.
How can we thank Shlomo Rechnitz? Perhaps we should learn from him to be proactive and seek out people and organizations that are integral to our future without waiting to be asked or solicited. Or perhaps we can learn that each and every one of us are responsible for one another. Life is hard enough. Let's tackle it together.